The Master's Mysteries. Tales of Magical Mastery. Episode 44. Because he heard that the old man who was robbed said there were demons causing trouble in the village, Liao Fengyi immediately rushed over with excitement. He followed the old man back home and happened to have a satisfying meal. Slow down, don't choke. If it's not enough, there's no shortage of simple meals at home, said Liao Fengyi. To be honest, there's nothing fancy about the meals in rural households, but for someone as hungry as Liao Fengyi, it was like heavenly delicacies. Grandpa, what's the deal with the demons causing trouble? I don't see anyone in this village. When he was half full, he couldn't help but ask the old man about the situation with the village demons. This incident has been going on in the village for almost half a year now, sighed the old man, his face darkening as he tapped the rice bowl with his chopsticks. He then began to explain the whole story to Liao Fengyi. The village where the old man lived was called Bishan village. It was a small village, but the fertile land provided a relatively good life for the people. The trouble with the demons started about half a year ago, when a man named Da Kui, who specialized in selling mountain goods, came back to the village late at night after selling some animal hides in the market. As he approached his house, he suddenly heard a noise on the wall. He instinctively looked up. To his surprise, there was a yellowish creature on the wall, holding a dead hen in its mouth. At first, he thought it was a yellow cat, but upon closer inspection, he realized those glowing green eyes belonged to a yellow weasel. Damn it! You stole chickens and even came to my house. Get ready for a fight. Da Kui was a reckless person, and seeing his hen taken away by this creature made him furious. He took out a short knife and threw it at the yellow weasel. Coincidentally, or maybe accurately, the knife's blade cut the weasel's neck, and blood spurted out. With its neck severed, the yellow weasel and the dead hen fell from the wall. Looking at the dead hen, Da Kui's anger surged again, and he kicked the yellow weasel away. Da Kui picked up the dead hen and went back home, unaware that he had just triggered a huge disaster. When he told his wife about the incident, she scolded him severely. Everyone in the rural northeast knew about the peculiarities of the yellow weasel. It was cunning and held grudges. But Da Kui paid no attention to it and didn't believe in such superstitions. Who's there? It's the middle of the night. Soon after he laid down on the kang, he fell asleep. But just as he was dozing off, he was awakened by urgent knocking on the door. I'm coming. I'm coming. Stop knocking. What's the bad news? It was already late at night, and Da Kui wondered who could it be disturbing him at this hour. But he also worried that someone might be in trouble, so he got up in a daze and opened the door. However, when he opened the door, he found no one outside. While Da Kui was puzzled, he caught a glimpse of something yellow moving under his eyelids. What is this? He looked down and saw a yellow weasel lying at the doorstep, with its green bean-like eyes glinting malevolently, staring at him. To his surprise, the creature had a long wound on its neck. Wasn't this the same one he killed tonight? But how could it still be alive? Da Kui couldn't help but break into a cold sweat. Before he could figure out what was happening, the yellow weasel had already pounced and viciously bit on Da Kui's throat. Da Kui lost consciousness without even making a sound. Husband, what's wrong? Da Kui's wife was in the house and heard the commotion. Realizing something was amiss, she quickly got up and called out to Da Kui. What are you doing? Husband. No matter how she called out, Da Kui didn't respond. He rushed out of the door at an astonishing speed and disappeared in no time. Husband. Husband. Da Kui's wife was frightened and didn't care about the late hour. She ran out onto the street and shouted for him. He even angered the yellow weasel. What should we do now? Everyone, please help. Since the village was small and the villagers knew each other well, they couldn't ignore the situation, especially considering that Da Kui had good relationships with everyone despite his reckless behavior. Let's go, search in that direction. The group split up and began searching around the village. Why would the yellow weasel cause such trouble? It's so eerie. Two of them were discussing the situation as they walked. They had been searching for a while, but hadn't found any trace of Dakui. Unknowingly, they ended up near the village's mountain temple. Look, isn't that Dakui over there? Although it was late at night, the moonlight illuminated the scene. They soon made a discovery. Let's go and take a look. As they approached, they saw Dakui lying on the ground near the mountain temple. He seemed to be aware of their presence, trembling as he stood up. His struggle to get up appeared strange and awkward, as if his body wasn't his own. As he managed to stand up, they noticed that Dakui's face was covered in blood. His mouth was twisted into a creepy smile, and his eyes seemed hollow. Something's not right with him. It's like he's possessed by the yellow weasel. Both of them grew up in the village and were familiar with such matters. They realized that Dakui might have been cursed. He's been possessed by the yellow weasel. What's wrong with him? The resemblance between Dakui and the yellow weasel was becoming more apparent. Moreover, Dakui's body now assumed a strange posture, and his eyes were eerily fixed on them. Oh no! Run! Before they could process what was happening, Dakui lunged at them with incredible speed and strength. It was too late for them to escape. As they turned to run, Dakui's speed was too fast. He quickly tackled both of them to the ground. Soon, they felt intense pain on their backs, and everything went black as they lost consciousness. Dakui hasn't returned yet. The others in the village searched for a while but couldn't find Dakui. They regrouped at Dakui's house only to realize that 2 more people were missing. Uncle 4. They've returned. The discussion was in full swing when they heard footsteps at the village entrance. The 3 people they were searching for had returned. Why are there still yellow weasels? However, the way the 3 men walked was extremely peculiar. Moreover, the villagers noticed that there were 3 more yellow weasels ahead of them, their eyes glowing strangely, as if leading the 3 men behind them. As they got closer, the villagers' hearts skipped a beat. The appearance of these 3 people was exceptionally eerie. Oh no, they have all been mesmerized by the yellow weasels. Seeing this, the villagers immediately understood that these 3 people were under the influence of the yellow weasels. Before anyone could react, the 3 individuals had already rushed towards the crowd with their teeth and claws bared. The situation became chaotic, and while the villagers knew that these people were under the control of the yellow weasels, they were hesitant to use force. However, the 3 affected individuals didn't hold back and attacked fiercely. Soon, more than a dozen people were injured to varying degrees. The turmoil wreaked havoc in this small village. The sounds of screams and wails filled the air. Amidst the chaos, the crowing of a rooster suddenly sounded. Looking up, they noticed that it was nearly dawn. Unnoticed by the villagers, the 3 yellow weasels controlling the individuals were now perched on the eaves of a house. As they heard the rooster crow, they swiftly ran away. With the departure of the yellow weasels, the 3 individuals abruptly convulsed, then all fainted. As the day broke, the 3 people gradually regained their senses. The village was now in a state of chaos, and the situation was dire. This night had taken a toll on the villagers. Not only did they lose sleep, but many also suffered injuries. Yet little did they know that the situation was far from over. As night fell again, a strong demonic wind swept through the entire village. Countless yellow weasels roamed the village, their eerie eyes gleaming with a malevolent light, creating an intimidating atmosphere. Soon, the villagers who were injured the previous night were also mesmerized by the yellow weasels and wandered around the village. Whenever they encountered people, they attacked, and those who were bitten and scratched by them soon fell under the control of the yellow weasels as well. This once peaceful mountain village had turned into a living hell. No one dared to stay there any longer, and within a few days, all the villagers had evacuated. The village became a true ghost village.